For happiness, you got to leave a little room for loneliness. More things could happen all of a sudden before you realize it's only a disguise. You got to be careful. You got to be careful with what you do and how you're doing it.
Hey, I know a store where you can get almost everything English. Things like quality cell phones with all accessories, various sizes of Bluetooth speakers for every occasion, clothing for men, women, and children of the highest quality, colognes, watches, and custom jewelry.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, TJ.
Good morning, Jamsik. Sorry, I was hoping and praying that you call. So go ahead, please.
I read from the Word of God, Psalm 32. Blessed is he who transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and whose spirit there is no guilt. When I keep silent, my bones walk old through my ruin all day long. For day and night they had what was heavy upon me. My voice is turned into dog and summer. I acknowledge my sin unto thee, and my iniquity have I not hid, I said. I will confess my transgression unto the Lord. This is the end of the scripture reading.
Thank you so much. How is the weather treating you up your end?
Up here is very sunny this morning.
Oh.
Wonderful.
So we have kind of clouds around our area. So it's we have mixed weather this morning. Well,
okay.
Let's see what the weatherman will tell us at 7:20.
Yeah.
Have yourself a good weekend.
But you two have a nice weekend.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone Disinfectant Cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Dear valued members, notice is hereby given that the 40th Annual General Meeting AGM of the Riverside Cooperative Credit Union Limited is carded for Thursday, 29 September 2022 at 4 p.m. Venue, Riverside Government School, Riverside St. Patrick's. Under the theme, Emerging from Our Past, Envisioning Our Future with Confidence Amidst Our Challenges. Members attending should register at the following branch: Riverside St. Patrick, Grenada, West Indies. Telephone 473-442-2732 or 9870. Email info@riversidecreditunion.com. Management wishes to advise our members that the office will be closed from 12 noon on that said date to facilitate our meeting. We regret any inconvenience that this early closure may cause. However, business will resume as normal on Friday, 30th September 2022.
Good morning, Andre.
Good morning to you and listeners of Real FM. And here's weather for today, Friday, 23rd September 2022. Currently, the weather is fair. Winds are from the east-northeast at 12 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 10-12 millibars. That's below normal and rising. Present temperature 28.3 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 81%. Yesterday's maximum temperature 29.6 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum 27.2 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 3.8 millimeter of rainfall was recorded, which brings the total for the month to 93.1 millimeters. Now to have a look at the forecast, value for today and tonight. Today we expect some generally fair conditions, becoming partly cloudy at times, mainly during the early afternoon, with brief isolated showers. Maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up 5 to 7 feet in open waters. There's a marine advisory in effect. Tides will be low at 9:15 a.m. and high at 3:30 p.m. Sunset today at 6:04, rises tomorrow at 5:57. Just a repeat of the forecast, value for today and tonight. Generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times, mainly during the early afternoon, with brief isolated showers. Maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius, and a marine advisory remains in effect. I'm Andre Charles, reporting from the Met Office. Thank you.
Andre, humor me and tell me that it's going to be sunny right through the weekend.
Well, we're hoping so. So far, conditions are looking good, but let's see how things changes.
All right,
Yeah?
I'll take that. Thank
All
you.
right,
All right,
lovely.
bye-bye. And there we have it, folks. The weather. We have a mixed bag of weather, but let's keep our fingers crossed, our whole body crossed that we're going to get bright sunshine on the weekend. I'd like to say good morning to Mr. Carl Caton. I heard you were flooded yesterday.
Yeah, man, that rain came down. The blessings overflow yesterday.
That your cup full and it run it over.
Yes.
Or your yard.
In the presence of my enemies. I got anointed yesterday.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So how you made out yesterday with the weather?
I got here.
Okay.
Well, I'm being driven here every morning, so I'm not waiting for la transport. So I was okay. I had my parasol, as they say. So I was okay. What I did though was walk with an extra shoe and an extra top just in case I got soaked, but I was okay. And we did have the agriculture program yesterday as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, how do you had some discussion on a couple of things to consume?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you know, everyone is saying that we are going to have food shortages, which we already started to. So what we have to do is to really plant and plant things that we know we can eat, not just to sell.
And surprisingly, yesterday afternoon, about 4 p.m. after, I was up close to your side,
You were?
Yeah, the Chambord Water Project. The parliamentary representative for St. Patrick's East, Mr. Dennis Cornwall, Honorable Dennis Cornwall was there. So we went and we looked at the area with the pump situated close to the river. We went into the Chambord area to look at the ponds, and then we had a discussion. And that same thing came up about the shortage of foods, and what was instructive there, the talk of seeds. And one of the persons in the meeting brought it up that worldwide is only about 10 to 15 companies that control seeds. And that is not a very, very good thing for people on this side here, because they have to satisfy a lot of other bigger countries and other bigger farming community before it reaches us. And sometimes what reaches us is not prime seeds or the best seeds.
That's true. As you call us third world, so we get everything third.
So the same thing of food, and then the variety of seeds, again, the availability. So sometimes we only could plant what seeds we have. So one suggestion in the meeting was people who plant have to tend to, like for corn, start planting open pollinated corn. So you have a generation after generation instead of you buying. And then when you plant, it's hit and miss.
And they also said that I heard that on the news a while ago that the people that has a monopoly for the seeds right now, they are not giving us seeds that we can repollinate, as they say. So when you get one crop, you cannot say, take some corn or take some peas and put it in your pot and let it grow again and then transplant it into your field.
Because the seeds are genetically modified.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that happen with genetically modified seeds, it requires certain input, certain type of fertilizers and agrochemicals. So without, they don't operate for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's
They need help.
Yeah, once you have it, they must thing it.
Well, I look at it as man is causing the shortages that we are having with food. I know there is enough food in this wide world that God created to feed every man, woman, and child, and no one should starve. But as we know, it's all about greed, and everybody wants to be the one that has everything, that could control everything, and in that process, we're all suffering for it.
Yes.
So, what do you have for us this morning?
Well, I have some issues which, like I say, I continue to get the 3 a.m. calls in the morning.
Oh.
One of the things people talk about, the perception that this present administration is trying to keep the opposition out. We saw it in the printing when the parliament opened. Then it was brought to my attention, and the question is about the Honorable Prime Minister's personal assistant. What role is she playing? Is it a party role or a governmental role based on the recent meeting in New York? Then I want to speak a bit about the establishment of the Commission on Cannabis Legalization and Regulation.
Okay.
The whole thing about the transcript and the missing computers and so on, I think is a topic I need to add my 2 pence to, analytically.
All right. So
basically, that's the thing, and then we'll go with the callers' leads. And I think Mr. Pierre might join me here.
Okay.
So we go have a decent program this morning.
Okay. So let me go to Waterwise.
Yes.
And then you'll take it from there.
All right.
So your current home.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, reporting faults, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Good morning, listeners. Welcome to another edition of Waterwise, a production of the National Water and Sewerage Authority, Nawasa. Thank you for joining us. I am Wendy Chateau. With the long days on the job, colleagues often become a second family. Today, we honor the memory of one of our second family members, Bernard Bumpy Batiste, who suddenly departed this life on Monday, September 19th. We are still shocked and saddened by his sudden passing. Death taking from us a genuinely warm individual, depriving us all of a passionate, energetic, good friend.
I can remember Bumpy Bernard as a very jovial person. He was a good friend. He was a good teammate. The first time I went to work at his department, the first time I went to work at T&D, I remember one time I asked him a question and he was like, "And you just come from college, so you're supposed to know, before he gave me the answer." So I'll always remember him for that, Bumpy, in his work, he was always dramatic. He had a lot of drama, so that's one of the things I will remember him for. So Bernard was fun to work with. You're working with him, but your mind was not really, so much on the task, because he was a lot of fun to work with, so that make your work a little bit easier. And I know he will be dearly missed. So rest in peace, Bernard.
With Bumpy, I always experience a very energetic welcome. Whenever he sees me in Dusty, he say, "Hey, Paulo, good to see you in town, boy." And we would even brace or share a very strong handshake. But he will be greatly missed.
Thursday last, I called Bumpy. He had to come to the office to sign a document. So I was like, Bumpy, how you bad, so? Them twins, since they were very small, I saw them and look, they get big. I could pass them on the road and I don't even say I recognize them. So he was like, okay, I'm coming up tomorrow now to come and sign the document. So I'll bring up one of the twins with me. Which he did. He came up the Friday. I saw how we spoke when we sent me office. And to me, like Bumpy, maybe he had a sense of like, he knew he was going. He said to us, I don't think I'll go stay long again, I will retire next year before my 60th birthday. And we spoke with cakes to make all kind of job. Only to know Monday morning when I came, the first thing that greeted me, Bumpy there. So, oh boy.
Sorrow fills our hearts, a sorrow that is deep and personal. Bumpy has silently closed the door of life and departed from us. Our lives will be empty in the areas he had filled with brightness. Also this morning, we advise residents and road users of Marquee in St. Andrew that beginning today, the authority will be undertaking the upgrade of its piping network from the vicinity of the basketball court to Leon's garage. Residents will see an upgrade in their water distribution network from 1.5 inch to 2 inch lines, replacing an aged infrastructure along the main road. Residents and motorists are advised that there will be heavy machinery operating for the period, with completion expected by October 3rd, 2022. Road users are advised that as a result of this work, there will be occasional delays in the flow of traffic. NOWASA thanks all for their understanding, patience, and cooperation during this period. That's all the time we have with you this morning. On behalf of the entire team at NOWASA, I am Wendy Chateau. Thank you for joining us. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
The NOWASA app brings the power of NOWASA's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, reporting faults, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. NOWASA, committed to meeting
Life may be
customers'
handing
needs.
us 100 reasons to cry, but we'll do our best to give you 100 reasons to smile. Right here on Real FM.
Good morning, big guy.
Good morning, Igwe.
So you're looking smooth this morning. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking smooth like velvet.
I think you're smoother than velvet. Velvet are not on you this morning.
Yeah, well, sometimes you gotta be that way.
Yeah.
You can be all of the DJ and them can look and song like one, man.
That is true. We have to have different appearances.
On the shout out of your persons, Patrick Roberts. Morning, Raul Lewis. Morning to you, there, brother Board. Morning to you, Cynthia Bartholomew. The members of the 50s, Joycelyn Francois, Michelle Alexander, Big Daddy, Christine Otley, Carl Belfon, Michelle Alexander, Gemma Wood, and Andrew. Morning to you people. And Shirley Skerritt, Evan John Roberts. These are the people who always keep Real FM going, keep Real FM alive. where you could count on them day in, day out. Igwe. Now, while the law allows the Prime Minister and the governing party the prerogative to set the date for the sitting of Parliament, there is a set protocol and practice, or the set protocol and practice basically is to engage the opposition or other parties to ensure that you have maximum participation at all time in Parliament. And this is so, and in our democracy, this is something we become customary. But one gets the feeling that there is an attempt by this present government to keep the opposition from same without consultation on the availability of all members in the House. So when setting a date, yes, the prerogative is within the boundary of the Prime Minister and the ruling party. However, to ensure that you have maximum participation in Parliament, you would want to have at least the best or the time having the most persons to participate, because in our democracy is for the people, of the people, and by the people. And after the exercise of elections, the people have decided who they want to represent them in Parliament. So I get the feeling, and it's not only me, because I've been having that discussion, and we had the unfortunate situation, Elsa Louison morning. We have the unfortunate situation where the opposition was left out on the program at the opening of when the Governor General gave the throne speech. And a lot of excuses, or a lot of views, or a lot of ideas or persons adding the 2 cents or the 2 pence as it is, as to why the thing that happened. So to ensure to guard against that, I believe, yes, the government and the ruling party has the prerogative to set the date. However, the set protocol where you consult to ensure that you have maximum participation, or you don't want to do your intelligence and recognize that, hey, maybe some of the opposition MPs might be out of state or so, and you call Parliament in a time that you know it might be difficult for them to be here, because the people's business ought to be discussed in Parliament. It's the house for the people's business. And seeing that we're operating in a democracy, some might say we're operating in democracy, but let me don't make it democracy. Let me keep it to the democracy. And democracy dictates that persons have fundamental rights and freedom. Yes, you're the one who said the percentage as to when the date for the sitting will be set, but observe the set protocol and practice. Because it might not be law, it might not be thing, but the protocol and practice in engaging to ensure that you have maximum participation, in the house. Because that's the people's house. And the people's business have to be discussed in the house. And the people already indicated the makeup of the 15 persons who they wanted in the house. They give the ruling party 9 persons, and they give the opposition, the main opposition, 6 persons. So some respect ought to be placed on that. And that feeling, or you get that notion, or you hear persons start to talk about it in an attempt to keep the opposition out without consultation. Let we don't have that kind of thing. Let we ensure that every person who is duly authorized to be in the house, or most of the persons duly authorized to be in the house, should be there when Parliament has a sitting, so the nation's business could be ventilated in a manner as we, the citizenry, would understand what is going on, what is at play, and how the country, is faring. Because picking up some information is that the government will be going to Parliament to seek authorization on the spending of some $194 million. And you want to have healthy discussions. You want to have healthy debates as it relates to what is going on, how the nation is apprised, and what the nation needs to know as to what is really going on. So to have Parliament and to cause not full participation by all persons who are duly authorized to be there, because part of the $194 million, as I understand it, and the information is that $77 million would be for recurring expenditure. That means it has to go on and on. And part of that is, like, yes, we're seeing that, but we're not seeing new revenues. You understand what I'm saying? It.
Mm-hmm.
And in the House, the information will come out. Maybe the opposition might want to quiz government on how you intend to raise revenues or intend to improve revenue collection as to facilitate what you're asking for. So like you say, okay, you come and ask for the approval of 194 million and add it in addition to the present budget. So that is something you want to have a level of discussion on, and then why it is necessary for you to be asking at this time for that sum of money as to what is the plans going forward for that money. So it is important that you don't try to blindside the opposition in setting a date and then claim, oh, you said the date and they don't come. Let we have some level of, let me keep to this set protocol and practice. Transformation, though I don't think transformation should go to the point that you're trying to pull one or pull a fast one or pull the rug over one eye as it relates to the sitting of the people's house or the people's business ought to be discussed. And I get that feeling, so I might not be right, but that's the feeling I get, Igwe.
Mm-hmm.
And I would raise it here because we at Real FM raise real issues. We analyze, we strip it bare, and we, because it's a supplemental to add to the spending, to the budget already there. So, and there's a school of thought that part of that funding, that 77 million out of that funding is for the transition leads, because we've been asking how are they being paid. The Ministry of Mobilization, which I believe there's no need to have a Ministry of Mobilization, because through the Ministry of Finance, there's things in place already how we get things done. So all those questions might be asked as to what drives the Ministry of Mobilization. What is the purpose? What is the function? Why it is necessary? And those questions could be asked in the House. So if you don't have persons, if you set in dates that you don't ensure you have maximum participation, I don't think that is a step in the right direction. So that's my view on that situation. I don't know if somebody might call in and have a parallel view to mine or have other information as to that particular discussion. The second issue I want to touch this morning, and he has brought to my attention in discussion. Like I always say, when I leave here, I take off my reading glasses and I put my Marco knob on. So I pick up information. And it begs the question here, what is the role of the personal assistant to the Honorable Prime Minister? And while we are asking what's the role, the other question is, how much is she being paid? And who is she being paid by? Those questions are serious questions we need to know. Now that question arose based on discussion, seeing her at the head table, shoulder to shoulder with the Prime Minister in the NDC function in New York City. So one want to know, what is her function? Is it a party function or a governmental function? Is the party paying her to be his personal assistant, or is the government paying that? And if it's the government are paying that, why is she up front and center in a party event? Now, you could understand certain ministers, by virtue they run under the umbrella of the National Democratic Congress. You could understand that. But the personal assistant to the Prime Minister, in my view, has nothing to do with party politics, but government. And what is instructive here, you use the public service rules to beat up on some people and say they conduct because of such during the election. You accuse them of wearing a particular color jersey. But here you're seeing the personal assistant to the Prime Minister. That's what was told to us, the personal assistant to the Prime Minister in a party function, up front and center. So one has to get some clarity as to the rule. I'm not saying what the rule should be. My question is, we need to get some clarity. The people need to have some clarity as to what is the role of the personal assistant. Is it a political role? Is it a party role? Because what you find happening when decisions are taken by this present administration, you find persons making a lot of excuse. Case in point, the $2,000 on traveling allowance, you find persons saying, one, they're trying to get away from what quote unquote rather real or perceived corruption in how the gas was obtained. Two, it is used to pay drivers and so on. And when you strip it down and you get those information and you do your own investigating, you realize now this thing, them trying too hard to defend that. So there's something, as the old people will say, something in the matter beside the person.
Yes.
So, and in that particular light, that question begs as to what is the role of the personal assistant? What role is she playing? And why we asking what role at the same time? One has to understand how much is she being paid, or the permission going to Parliament to spend, is she part of that part of asking to spend that money? That 194 million and the 77 in particular for the transition, would she fall under that? And if she is falling under the consolidated fund and you have to pay her, explain her position at the head table of an NDC event. Those are questions that need answers. We need to get answers to those questions. And at the same time, one wants to understand what is at play. What hat is she wearing? What hat was she wearing at that function? Was it a governmental hat or was it an NDC hat? And these are things we need to know. We need to understand and to know what is going on, because it's the nation's business. It's not a private Government is not private. Like I say earlier, and it's off for and by the people. And we, the people in a democracy, ought to understand what is going on and what here is at play as it relates to issues. And that is one what needs some clarity. Now, like I say, the government has the prerogative so to do, or the Honorable Prime Minister. But he is a servant of the people. So he must indicate to the people when those questions arise to satisfy persons that he is doing the job that he was elected for and not doing something that he was not elected so to do. So folks, we'll take a short break here and be back.
Broadcasting from the historical Parish Main Street, Certez, to your home, vehicle, and office. Today's hit music on Real FM.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone Disinfectant Cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
So fast pay on you an easy way to pay. So fast pay. So fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So FastPay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So FastPay. So FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it, and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price. And they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, with their factory at Chantimel in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchen, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
Yes, Igwe, before you go on, let me say good morning to Red Bull inside of Victoria. He always locking it down. Yeah, he say he like to hear you, he say, but that man could talk, but that man does get on real bad when he get vexed, you know. Red Bull, bless up yourself.
Yeah,
I know you may be laughing right now.
blessing, man.
So I say, Igwe,
Yeah, now in recent days, there's this in recent days, big up Red Bull. In recent days, there's this discussion about this missing computer
Yeah,
and transcript.
I want to know about that too.
And some persons are pointing fingers at the past administration, which is so vulgar and inept and mischief at best.
That has nothing to do with the boss.
Now, I'm gonna try at best to analyze the whole thing. But before I do that, I need to give you some information. Now, a transcript, because part of the whole thing has to do with the missing computer, so the transcript missing. So a man who gets about 67 years end up walking free and so on, and the outcry, and based on the information by that particular lawyer in his press conference, who for some reason seems to know a lot about that computer and missing and so on. I find he seems to know a lot, and old people say when you hear people see things, so when you know them, they don't shine them in it. But he seems to know a lot. Yeah, so I think any investigation to start by him. So, first, a transcript is a word-for-word type record of everything that was said in a court during a trial or a hearing. So word for word, some people say we don't use the word verbatim. So word for word. One might ask, what is the purpose of a transcript? It may be used for appeal, and in that case, the gentleman appeal and the transcript wasn't there, so you couldn't get for impeachment or for jury argument, so it could be used in things. So it is also important. But with that now, begs some question. First of all, because the lawyer seemed to know a lot about it, like I said earlier, when was that computer actually stolen? Because based on what the lawyer was saying, the impression was given that the transcript was being prepared.
It was being prepared.
Yeah.
So he wasn't ready yet.
Now let me take that call.
Good morning.
Morning, caller.
Good morning, Master Caller, and good morning, Igwe.
Morning.
Yeah.
Master Caller, I'm not getting your station, man, since yesterday.
Yeah, there's a problem in the mountain. One of the panels and then went down. So we're waiting Green Lake to fix up.
All right.
But you could get us online.
You could get us online.
Master Caller, the little thing I have there, I can go online with these things. That's too light. That's too light to go online.
Yeah, hopefully something should be rectified today.
Okay, Master Caller.
So what's up with you?
Well, I did, Master Caller. What I want
but
to
you
say,
had to call me, you know.
I tried calling, listen to me. I called you twice, and I like a busy phone. But we can work on that. I'll call the secretary on that. Because what happened, that field, after what pick up that disease, it went right down. It went down completely.
No, so we must talk before you think. We are to talk.
Yeah, so what I do now, replanting.
Okay.
Right, but my main thing is Master Carl this morning, man. I have a lot of cauliflower for tomorrow, please, God.
Okay.
One customer to know that to come to the stadium tomorrow. I have cauliflower there, that discount, a bag of cauliflower tomorrow.
You're giving them farm price tomorrow.
Farm price tomorrow.
So persons who are listening.
I have the braco flower and I have the cauliflower. So customer come over in the stadium.
In the stadium car park.
Stadium cap. Well, normally what we do the vending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listeners, go and get yourself some cauliflower tomorrow.
Thanks very much.
Yes, take care, bro.
No well, I want to resolve this one. I can't hear nothing.
All right, take care.
Okay, brother.
Right. So yes, Igwe.
Back to the computer.
So based on what the lawyer said, that he was under the impression that the transcript was being prepared in the appeal matter, and then the information came out that the computer was stolen. So the person who went with the computer or allegedly went with the computer or allegedly stolen, because just out of the abundance of caution, allegedly stolen. should have some, or may have had some information or knowledge as to the importance of what was on the computer. You understand? No. Who benefits from this computer being stolen or lost or transcript cannot be prepared? That is a question that needs to be answered. Who benefits? It's not the past administration, as some people calling on some other stations and indicating, which is sad. But instructively, some questions ought to be answered. Who puts the information on the computer? There are questions that need to be answered. Yes. Who puts the information on the computer? The second question, where is the source of the document to go on the computer? So where the hard copy you need to move from to go on the computer?
Yeah, the one that written in the court. Yeah, where is that one? Where that go?
Who's responsible for putting the information in the computer? There are some questions what must ask. Where was this computer stored? Morning caller, let's take that call.
Morning.
Morning caller.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, how you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning to the listening public.
Good morning to you, caller. I hope all is
Mr.
okay.
Caton.
Yeah. Yes, caller, I'm Mr.
Hello?
Caton. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Something I would.
You're breaking up a bit.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Yes, I would like you to describe to the viewing public what the transcript from the court, because I've seen a lot of people is posting all kind of thing on Facebook, and to me, the majority of the people who's talking is not aware what the transcript is, because they're saying use the evidence that they got from the police and all of that. And to me, they're not aware that when you appeal a case and the appellate court asks for the transcript, I am of the view investigation should be done starting from the person who recorded the transcript of that trial. When it was recorded, who stole it, and go further on, yeah? But I just want to explain to the viewing public what is the transcript.
Okay, caller.
All right?
Okay, caller.
Thank you so much.
And again, Igwe, a transcript is a word for word type record of everything that was said
in court
during the trial. So if you have to go back and some people talking about evidence and so on, it is a different transcript. It can be the same. Just like a song. Me and you could sing the same song, but it is not the same way, or pitch and so on. So a transcript is only by itself, is unique to itself. You could have another transcript, but not the same transcript. And the caller made some salient points. One, who responsible for taking the transcript and putting it or storing it? Where was it stored? What time was it stored? When was the last time was it remembered that you saw it?
Yeah, questions.
Because if it is easy so, and we know about money, Igwe, if it's easy to disappear like that, My suggestion or argument is here. If you find a person not doing the transcript and you pay them enough, you could get it, go away easy to him.
What you saying?
Because if how this issue arise now, because those questions is who puts in the information, where it is to, what time the information goes in. Is it one time, 1 week after, 1 month after? Could that person vouch that the information went in on a particular date and time and place? All these questions need to be satisfied as it relates to the thing. And one fundamental question we cannot forget: who could be the beneficiary of the missing transcript? Let that not be lost.
Somebody collect.
Who could be the beneficiary of that missing transcript? That is a question, that is a heavy one, which ought to be answered. So before we go in beating up, and some people beating up and saying the last administration, blah, 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 understand what is happening here, what happened. Get an understanding as to the importance. Get an understanding as to how these things happen, how they work, how they operate. And then you will come to the realization, the seriousness. Because if you could lose just so, and as the lawyer said, that his words, he was under the impression that the transcript was being prepared. So who prepares the transcript? Where the information comes from to prepare the transcript? How soon the transcript is being prepared? Because based on what we hear now, the matter was 19 how long? And now the transcript is being prepared. So what time? And what is the reservoir from where the transcript come from? So the computer, but who puts that information into the computer? Those are the questions. And if you put in information into a computer, it means you have to have a hard copy gate.
Must have
with
hard
a man
copy.
of the thing.
And if they wipe the hard drive, a man like me could get back all the files still. So no matter how they jump.
So these are questions.
Yeah, that need to.
We need to get into and not necessarily just make wild accusation and feel it is fashionable to blame the past administration. So we go see it's them. And even as a matter of fact, what benefit would it bring to the opposition leader and opposition parliamentarians to the missing of that, as some people trying to say? What benefit it bring to them? Who are the beneficiaries of the missing transcript? Who has an abundance of knowledge as to what it is? Those are the things we need to understand before we go just making accusation and shooting things, because one has to understand what really is going on here. So I cannot and would not say that any one person is accountable. But after those relevant questions as to who puts in the information, where is the source document for that information, the hard copy, who prepares, where is the computer stored? So if this thing is so easy to do, or without we knowing, I mean, somebody with some phones could end up in a thing and just go and get the person to do that and cause that, because if you don't have no consequence to that happening, and that is a serious issue, you know,
man, no joke thing.
That is a very, very serious issue which cannot be taken lightly. or sweep under the carpet, or trying to align blame where it is not blameworthy. And that is the crux of the matter. So that is my analytical view as to it, bearing in mind the transcript is a word for word type record of everything, not some, everything that was said in the court during the trial. So one has to understand the importance of a transcript in purposes of appeal, because the appellant judge does not have the opportunity to go and listen the evidence and thing again. You understand it?
Mm-hmm.
And for a man walking for a gruesome crime where he was found guilty by his peers, the jurors, it's not a case where he was tried in a kangaroo court, so you say it was dodgy at best. After deliberation, his peers, that the jurors are, his peers found him guilty. And to walk because of a technicality like that. So somebody ought to be accountable. Yes, it is not just business as usual, and it is simply not enough to try to place blame on persons who you do like. Because what we have a syndrome here in Grenada where we place blame on people we do like, or perceive persons who opposes us. So I from that situation, we need to understand the whole thing about this transcript gets, and how we go forward, or the security of those transcripts. You understand what I think?
Yeah.
So that is my take really on the information as I see it. So Igwe, let's take another break here and be back.
Yeah, we will. Something need to be done about that.
Yeah.
Something need to be done. Grenada too small for that.
Casting from the historical Parish Main Street, Certez, to your home, vehicle, and office. Today's hit music on Real FM.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody. Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere. The Grenlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
I'm a winner. You are winner. We are winners.
It's the big one. Grenada. Imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one later ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money back symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch in stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
Are you interested in getting an affordable entertainment package that would serve your every need? Do you own a Fire Stick, Smart TV, or Android box? If the answer is yes, we have news. We can offer you a package that would cost you less than $9 per month. Yes, that's just $200 for the entire year. You would get over 9,000 live TV channels, 31,000 movies, and 4,000 TV shows for your entertainment. These channels include shows, entertainment, sports, news, movies, comedy, and lots more, including international, Caribbean, and local channels. Watch on your smart TV, phones, tablets, PC, laptop, and Fire Stick. We can also supply you with an HD Android box that would convert your TV into a smart TV. Not convinced? Then test our service now for 36 hours free. For more information, call or WhatsApp DP Marketing at 473-457-3546.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always at Grandland, you come first. Save energy, save a dime, reduce your wattage and reduce your time. When you use appliances, be sure you buy energy efficient every time. Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always at Grandland, you come first. Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always at Redland, you come first.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
And we're back. Digo, let me say a special good morning to Miss Patsy Abraham, always locked in as one of the 50 Igwe.
Yeah, man.
We punching this morning?
Yeah, well, we are
punch.
We ain't punching.
We don't punching.
We are joined by Mr. Pierre. Welcome to the show this morning, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, thank you very much. Always, second time. Glad to be there.
I want you to take on we went through a couple of things, and I want you to take on it. Now, when the governing party and the Prime Minister by extension by law has the power to set the date for sitting in Parliament. However, there's the practice and protocol is to engage the opposition or the persons on the other side as setting the dates, because you don't want a situation where a man might be unavailable. But there's a perception, or there's the feeling by many, including me, that the government is trying to keep the opposition out by not really consulting us with the date for setting the date. And that is a bad practice. What's your view on that?
One have to remember that we're dealing with a new group of people who has never been in a house before. Perhaps that never ever happened in Grenada way back perhaps in the 70s or so, or 60s. And they have already clearly shown that the political victimization is part of the policy. The names of the members of the opposition was left out on the agenda, on the itinerary. Now, there are some things that might be a mistake or coincidental, but when you put a number of things together, it seems that the present government is playing straight political lines. It's not a government, it's the party that's in power. That they're establishing the fact, this is the party in power, this is our time back up. And they are showing it based upon incorporating political victimization as part of the policies. They left out the names of the opposition on the agenda, on the itinerary.
Yep.
When the Prime Minister of Grenada, which is the normal things to do, that is what Donald Trump didn't do. I was a strong supporter of Donald Trump until he didn't recognize that he lost. So I had to part from him. When the Prime Minister initiate contact with the previous Prime Minister, Dr. Kit Mitchell, initiate contact with Deacon Mitchell, the Prime Minister then, and say congratulations and we prepare to work with you and whatever went on in the election, don't take it personal, and etc. This is a natural, courteous thing for anybody to do.
That's statesmanship.
That's statesmanship. The Prime Minister mentioned that he did not initiate the conversation.
Yeah, he make it a point to tell people he's not here.
He's not here that initiated the conversation. You saw the Prime Minister going to him again and holding him around the shoulders. I guess Dr. Kit Mitchell telling him, we stop the politics, the campaign is over.
The campaign done.
So the animosity have to finish. We have to try to work together. And it seems again he's not embracing this inertia. He's not embracing this initiative. And his team is on the warpath. We win the election, it's our party in control. We have to defend our party and our people have to be right. So it's not, the governments have to be separated from the party. The party is there to give the government support. But it seems today that is the party that's in power, not the government. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You're going to see more of these little things.
And you just prelude to the next discussion I want to have with you. We saw this gala function in New York recently. And on the head table, the assistant to the Honorable Prime Minister up front and center. Now it begs some questions, Mr. P. Is she appointed by the party to be his assistant? So is the party paying her? Or is the government paying her? What hat is she wearing? Because you can't tell me if the government is the one paying her. You can't tell me that she's up front and center in a party event like what took place in New York.
Well, again,
some lines has to be drawn.
Again, they one have to take it, it can be an isolated incident. There are a number of things that happen in Grenada, So while I have not been taking issue with the functioning of the government so far, but these things count. Because this is what would tell you where the government going. You see, none of the individuals in these 9 members, none of them have experience before. We don't know them.
Institutional knowledge.
So we cannot predict
what they
will do. So we have to look at what they say and the actions they take.
Yeah.
And maybe when they go to New York, you see they're still in a party mood. They still does not understand there is a government and a party. Yeah. They're still on the war part. Their social media warriors still want to see somebody go in jail. They still want to rub somebody's face in the dust. They still want to laugh at somebody that loses their job.
Yes, an advocate take the job and 2 weeks.
And it is unfortunate because this is the first time that I stand to be corrected, that a political party have a transition team. In agriculture, we have about 12 persons. It's about 13 of them all, well, the minister don't check him, about 12 of them in the transition team. So they have a transition team, but I don't know whether the transition team have the experience enough or if the significance is so diluted that they only there to get a little money and shut them out.
Well, because one of the main surrogates indicated that he spoke to those people and tell them take it easy. They go eat our food. So that happened.
So
but Mr. Pierre, what is instructive here, and as I always say on this program, I'm not the repository or the repositor of every knowledge. However, the little information I gathered from day to day, it is a feeling of deja vu, like the revo all over again, you know, because you cannot oppose anytime you say nothing or anything that is not in agreement. What they say, they're looking to shoot you down. Either they attack you personally or they try to mischief you in a particular walk. It's like the revolution all over again.
Well, we're living in a different dispensation. Even in the revolution, a number of people object. And as a result, that is why the revolution had to jail 3,000 people. That is why the revolution was the group that addressed unemployment quickest in Grenada. You know. They jailed 3,000 people and about 4,000 run. So one time unemployment dropped by about 7,000. But they still had people who object. And to give a clear indication to this present government that they should change their ways. Because Grenada now have a level of freedom of expression and also the press. We have a call on the line?
Morning caller.
Yeah.
Hello. Morning caller.
Last. Yes, Grenada have a sort of freedom of expression and freedom of the press. And journalism, as you know it, they have to fight and come good to continue to be to maintain the recognition. Because you're going to have more personalities who are not journalists, but come on the social media and other medium that people would gravitate towards.
Yeah, but I brought the argument of the revolution in play because, as you indicated, one of the chum kids of the revolution was jail. And you hear ministers in this administration on radio saying a lot of people are going in jail.
But I always...
They're not my words. They say without somebody prompting them. And they indicating areas in ministries where persons will go in jail.
I think maybe they read about the revolution and get excited. I've always say up to now, there's a number of things that happen in the revolution that people don't talk about. Those comrades that want to glorify the revolution, they don't want me to talk about the individual that was castrated.
No.
And make sure they don't want me to talk about Mackenzie. Mackenzie was a policeman, you know. He left the police force in Gary days and he got up in the woods. And you know how they have the Caribs leap? The French say the Carib leap because at least they didn't want to say they killed the Carib and threw them out. So the PRA say Mackenzie leap. We never get his body. He was a policeman. He had a mother. He had children, and he died in the woods.
Mackenzie leap.
Well, when they came back for it, they went to collect Rastafarians in the woods.
Yeah.
And they were firing a gun.
Yeah, because them Rasta only practicing mulch.
One man say that Mackenzie was shot. When they asked the PRA, they say he heaved over a precipice. So we add the word leap.
But instructive. that is part of the narrative with Leapers Hill too. You know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They learn well.
They say them Carib leap.
They learn the history well. They say he leap over a precipice, man. But some Rastaman say he was shot.
We have a call. Morning caller.
Morning, Mr. Carl.
How you doing?
I don't know something to me. I don't know if it's my radio.
Nothing the radio part of the thing giving some issues. Nah, the radio part of it giving some issues. We are working on it presently.
Okay then, because I was wondering, you understand?
So how are you? How are you doing?
They're not bad, you know.
Yeah.
Listening to I wanted to hear what you had to say about the budget, what
You-
you said yesterday. You didn't hear it, no?
Yeah, you're back.
You asked the question about Miss Clarice Charles the last time. Based on information, the present administration is in the process of trying to cause those persons to be back. So,
Alright.
yeah.
And what do you think is that somebody budget yesterday, what they said?
Well, you haven't. What usually you do have is the budget consultation where.
Yes, but you didn't hear what Mr. Toole said yesterday?
Nah, I didn't hear what he said.
Something to do with them, but they have to make some money someplace. By doing that, they will make some money.
Well, Mr. Toza's name is loose cannon, and you can't take all what they're saying just so. Because he was one who met Kennedy Boudlal in the market, in the boss place in Grenville, and telling Kennedy Boudlal how Kit Mitchell is a wicked man because he leave all that money in the treasury.
But right now he's looking to
Yeah, because now let me tell you, this present administration has to understand how government work and how governance is. And as a friend of mine from Jamaica says to me, listening the Prime Minister, that the only time he ever hear a new government come in office and boasting how much money they make in the treasury. So he asking me now, what happened to these guys? And I say, they boasting how the treasury pregnant. However, there's a lot of new obligations, what requires finance. One, the pension. They say in 60 million, but they know it's not 60 million. Two, they promise police to fix some pay and grade from since 1995. Three, negotiations with the union are to start for increase for the next 3 years. Four, the transition leave they have to pay. Five, the Ministry of National Mobilization. Six, making all Imani and public workers permanent. Seven, the $2,000 they take for themselves as traveling allowance. So all these things are new obligations, what was not there before. And all these things are recurrent. So month to month they have to address it. And when they start to pay the pension, they will need our 10 million extra to satisfy the payment of pension going forward. So there are about 10 new obligations, what was not there. And they yet to tell us how they're making money to pay it. So the whole issue about tolls and them speaking, and Mr. Andrew, Honorable Andrew speaking, is like loose cannon speaking, because it's the same set of them are there on the radio saying they go jail people too. The same set of them are saying, what they on the radio saying they bring down gas price too. So when you hear them people talking that, you know that loose cannon and Mac at the show. You how you go take them serious when they talking that thing. If they could bold face go and say how they cause gas price to go down, you have to know it's nonsense what going on. Worldwide, so they cause gas price to go down in Barbados and Antigua and them. And they claiming it bold face. So you know when you hear these things that something is totally not there. Maybe the light on, the light on, but nobody upstairs.
Yesterday I heard, but I didn't hear all where they was talking about some land slippage or something.
In on the western side in Brizan. And everything for them is like a photo up. So go and take photos.
So not where the present.
No, it's the next place, Brizan. The present place is in Moline. Brizan is higher up. So they were in Brizan shoving them pieces that steel in the road like them is them engineer and thing. This thing and them is so laughable. It's not fun.
And you was talking about, I didn't know.
You do have work to do, so you can go and take photo all about. If you had work to do, you now the opportunity to be taking out photo all about. So.
Okay, then, thanks.
Well, you have a blessed day and take care. Yeah, Mr. P, like you were saying.
Yes, I think
about the jail phenomenon.
Yeah, what happened to these individuals? Maybe they are excited about the revolution. In recent time, a number of people have been advocating and pushing the revolution. And obviously, the party evoked the spirit of Maurice Bishop. So these younger people would have only heard about some of the excited times of the revolution, but not the woes. And I always try to encourage people about the woes of the revolution, because it's important. If you're going to say the revolution is glorious, then obviously you ought to tell us some of the woes. And this is one of the things I speak about history, because when the victor, history is for the victor. And in Grenada context here, we have these young politicians, young not in terms of age. We had one of the youngest prime minister, I think was 37, from New Zealand. And she also had a child while she in parliament. She was the second prime minister to give birth while prime minister. Beneza Bhutto did it too, you know. So I think it's a kind of excitement. They don't settle down yet to recognize they have to govern the country. And the quicker they do that is better, because 90 days has come and gone, I believe. And then people they're going to go to parliament. Maybe, I don't know if it's in the next month, they're going to reach in parliament.
I think on the 29th or something.
We have a caller on the line.
Hello, Mr. Carl.
Hey, morning.
Good morning. How are you, brother? You good?
Yeah, I'm trying to be good.
Okay, well, don't try to be good, man. Let me ask you something now.
Yeah.
I hear you say something there and it's not true.
What I say is not true.
You said not the government that bring on gas price.
No, you
and that is not true. And I will tell you why is that.
Wait.
Let me tell you something.
Wait.
Because why the gas price?
Stop it. The government, not the government, are bringing down gas price. Stop it, and you know that.
Stick up in.
I don't let you go further with that. So the government will bring down gas price in Trinidad and Barbados and Antigua and America. The NDC government are bringing down the prices. Cut a call off. You don't make it no sense.
We have an next
I don't
call.
go into that stupidness with that call on this man.
Hello.
Morning.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
How you doing?
How is it in the north?
Well, fair to finance, they would say weather-wise.
All right, Master Carl, right, good. Mr. Pierre, good morning. Remind us about something here. Did Grenada sign on to what is referred to as fiscal discipline act, which relates to the spending of government and
yes.
How many persons should be hired in the public service?
Yes, and what is in shock to
I'm
you?
waiting for the answer.
And what is in shock to you? The present lead in finance, Mr. Pierre, used to be the chairman of that body. You know?
Richard Duncan?
Yeah, the Fiscal Responsible Act. And I think he had to be coming in force in January because of the pandemic. It was lapsed a bit. And Grenada is a signatory too.
Who is the lead now?
The lead in?
Who is the person that was taking
No, I don't know who is the president,
okay.
the contract or the president board or whatsoever. And Mr. Pierre, it is so sad, shameful, and vulgar for grown persons to call and say this government is the one that caused gas price to go down. We don't produce no gas. And the same set of people and just call the station and talk about Ireland. And they know that gas price, and let me explain to people, not to the caller, but to other people so they could understand. Gas price depends on the demand. Now, when the demand of gas is down as it is now, Mr. Pierre, because a lot of people into renewable energy, solar and so on. A lot of persons in the metropolitan countries into electric vehicles and things. So the demand for gas is down. So the price of gas goes down. OPEC recognize what happened because the price moved from $127 thereabouts to $98, I think, our barrel of crude now. OPEC recognize that the price is going to drop. You know what they do? They say they will cut production as I mean to stabilize price. to bring back price to a way where they want it. You find people saying how this government bring down gas price and trying to talk this cock and bull.
It's
sad.
Looking at the wider,
it's vulgar.
Looking at the wider issue is also not good for Russia. You know,
no,
in this war, because if the price of gas is falling, then the blockade against Russia, the economic,
you don't walk in.
It will be stronger. But the government has removed the $15 cap, where the government introduced a cap to stabilize the price. So what would happen if the gas price goes up back? It could well go up before more than $15. And whether the government would step in again to put a cap is another issue. I don't know if the government
just to add a little bit as your own cap. And one has to understand the difference between cap and price fixing.
Yeah.
So all that has to be considered when you're talking about who think gas and who bring down gas price. So when people playing dummy don't know, I don't allowing them to spew this nonsense once they're here. Now, a cap is to ensure that the commodity would not go past a particular figure. So if you cap it as 15 as it was, gas could go up to $100, you know you don't go past 15. However, when it falls under the cap, it will be passed on to the consumers. So cap is only for it not to go up, not for it to go down. But price fixing is different. It's like you're forcing a particular price. You don't take in demands and things into consideration and say that is the price. So it's like price fixing. So whether it goes up or down, it stays there. So one has to understand the difference between cap and fixing. So this nonsense about government bringing down gas, they know that not true.
You see, my brother, there's so much things that in the public that is not true. I used to say there's so much truth that has been sexed up. There's so much falsehood that has been multiplied 100-fold in the public. And then you have a political party that just ignore them.
Yes.
So the National Democratic Congress political machinery for distorting the truth is well established.
Yes.
And they continue, even if they win the election, they're so angry because they cannot make the change back. And that is somebody challenge the National Democratic Congress have to deal with.
And as you see that Mr. Pancho was here, Dr. Pancho, and I asked him that question straight. I say, what do you think in your line of study and expertise? And one of the things he said, that persons of that party has suffered defeat so much in the poll. So now they still upset, even with victory now. And as one person of the Congress who I have conversation with, he said unless they don't win 15, they don't feel good. Because they get 15 3 times. So it's to try to demonize anybody they perceive supports the new National Party.
When Pandey in Trinidad had the opportunity to run, Pandey was a good trade union leader. I had the opportunity to, and one of the challenge Pandey accustomed opposing so much that when he reached in government, he continued to oppose too. And the challenge the National Democratic Congress have is to manage the warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that they lost election so brutally, they attracted anybody who was against Kit Mitchell was a good person for NDC.
Mm-hmm.
So they attracted hate. They attracted individuals without philosophy. The people had no philosophy, no political philosophy. It's a simple, no ideological stand. It's a simple issue. They don't want to seek it. They can't stand his name. They don't want to hear about him. But they were good for the National Democratic Congress because they joined the army of warriors.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons that anytime somebody leaves the National Democratic Congress, they call them a traitor.
Yeah.
This is why they were so dismissive. No, they win election and they don't know how to send out the olive branch. And anytime a political party throughout the Caribbean, they could follow the Caribbean, win election, they want to send out the olive branch. They may not reach the hardliners, but the moderates, they're going to reach them and say, let us work together. Because in a small country, you must have people working together. You know, not everybody that is a political hothead. But if you refuse to send out the olive branch and you say, this is my time, it's our time.
And what is instructive to note about the whole gas issue, and even the caller and others, I don't think they don't even listen to the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister. Because he, in his discussion on gas, he even showing the proviso, Mr. Pierre, that if the gas price goes up, he might cap it at 17. So that shows he recognize that he don't have control over gas. But you find people calling and say he has control to bring down gas price. When in his own discussion, he say if the gas price go up, he might have to cap it at 17. They don't listen to that and they're trying to call and expose the withoutness.
Well, I think they heard that. They understand that. But what they're doing is to continue the politicking. You see, that is where people, the other people have to check them and say, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Well, I always go tell them that. And if they are custom calling places and people are allowing that, don't call and do that.
I entertain the conversation with them and say, no, you're wrong. That is not the trend, because they are accustomed doing that. And I think this is the psychological impact of an individual that's losing. If you have a child that got 10 in maths, I don't believe, I have a whole different view on maths, and we want to stray on that. But if you're teaching maths, 50% of what you test the child on must be what the child know.
Yes.
25% must be what you teach. And you add another percentage for the children who brighter than you.
Yeah.
But you don't want a child getting 10 in maths.
No, you like the exam shouldn't be one like tricking the child.
No, the child go hate maths.
Yeah.
So the child get 10 in maths, 10 in maths. He say, Mommy, I can't do maths. I don't touch in maths, because you're giving the child 10. But if the child get 40 in maths, they will say, well, you get 40, you see?
Yeah.
And this is one of the challenges we have. We're testing the children as if we want them to fail. So the National Democratic Congress developed is like a Don Quixote attitude. They're looking for fight where you don't fight. Because they have been doing that for so long.
Like a rabbit hole discussions they
and
have
then and what you could find is they end up fighting among themselves because they want fight. And that is one of the reasons they start taking on ordinary folks, people who do not have serious political impact because they are not in senior positions. They don't have that political impact. That is why you could laugh at individuals who
lose their
work and etc. Because the same mentality is there. And I don't know how they're going to change it, because they dilute the significance of the older members in the party. They say, chop your limit.
Yeah. Put them in wheelchair.
They say, give them armchair. And I was so disappointed because one of the individuals that was saying that was a motivational speaker.
Yes.
That worked with all governments in Grenada. All governments in Grenada. The NNP, the NDC employ that individual to speak to workers. To speak to workers about production and productivity and, stress in the workplace. I follow him on social media. I have attended his workshop on, I think, 2 occasions. I happened to pop in it. And he was good. But he too has reached a stage where he decided to give them armchair because they heard the leader was a man of deep pocket and contacts. So they say, buy armchair and wheelchair and give them and send them home. You practically dilute the significance of the older ones in your party. So who will correct you now? Who will change them? I do hope that they change for the sake of their own political party and for the sake of Grenada, because You don't want the NDC to do that badly, so that they tarnish the political history and they tarnish the progress of Grenada. We have to go forward. So they need to change that attitude quick, but I don't know how they will do it. Some of their social media warriors need to go in hibernation, but they seem to be directing the steering wheel.
Yeah, because not only that, but what is instructive, Mr. Pierre? The level of information, as we would say, classified information some of those warriors them does produce about persons, personal, like the payment and contract, and you're seeing these things on them on social media.
Yes, but remember, they are involved in directing the steering wheel.
Yes.
I remember on one occasion, way prior to the election, one individual was on the radio attacking a public officer. I think it was Ronald Robinson that called on the radio to object to him and he dismissed him.
Yes.
Say, he don't want to hear you. There was another instance where the gentleman who always called, he has challenge with his site. He called to correct on something and they dismiss him too. They are political warriors on the war part. So even within their own ranks, because Ronald Robinson was a senior person in the rank, and he called on the radio, he was on the radio calling the names of public officers, the salary they were working for, and Ronald Robinson felt, no, you can't do that because these public officers cannot defend themselves. And he was extremely dismissive. So these powerhouses in the nuclei of the National Democratic Congress, they are the ones that run in the show.
Yeah.
And some of the senior members, you see, it seems as though they had some face for the public.
Yeah.
You know, the National Democratic Congress always have the party of a conscience and the party of a face for the public.
Yes.
Well, now the face for the public, the conscience of the public is one and the same.
Yeah, mutatus mutandis. We'll take a break here and we're back.
Before you go on the break, somebody told me to ask you a question, but I was like to disturb you. Question from Mr. Carl. Is this new government obligated to declare their assets? I haven't heard anything about that.
Well, transparency is a word that this present administration like to use. So in the interest of transparency, I think they should.
Well,
but they're not obligated to.
They don't have to publicly declare their assets. I don't think the requirement is not public declaration. Dr. Kit Mitchell did a public declaration, but they don't have to do it. No other political leader. When you go back, Dr. Kit Mitchell is a sample where democracy is concerned. He's one of the sample of democracy in the Caribbean. You see, I think one day we'll have to speak about that. We'll have to take on Dr. Kit Mitchell and as a sample to democracy. So he publicly made the declaration. Nobody else did in the country. So they don't have to make a public declaration. Maybe some of the leaders should emulate Dr. Kit Mitchell, you know, the template that he set and declare publicly, but it is not required by law.
There's a school of thought here, Mr. Clay, that they have to declare to the Integrity Commission.
The Integrity Commission, not to the public.
And it is believed that they have up to November so to do.
They have the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think
but they don't have to do it publicly.
No. But I think one day we should discuss Dr. Kit Mitchell.
We ought to.
Yeah, as a sample. You see, I always believe that I have a funny issue with history, you know? Not only the written history, but the traditional fathers, because there are some things that people would not. Somebody a call on the line?
No, we lost it.
Okay, all right.
No, they're still there.
Yes, caller.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. I have been wondering since I heard the new gas price. Is there any taxes on the gas at this point in time?
Tax.
Somehow I feel there is not.
No.
So I'm looking for clarification. And if you guys can help.
I don't know, but I guess government have the tax on it. Government have to have tax on gas.
It should.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have any.
But I don't know. They would have to clarify that. Again, and that is one of the challenge we have. Because if the government policy is information by need to know, then our journalists have to prepare to ask a lot of questions. Because they are the ones that interfacing with the politicians. So they have to prepare to ask the questions and make it public.
Mr. Pierre, you made a statement there as it relates to Dr. Keith Mitchell, as it relates to democracy and politics. And one of the things that these present administration and their supporters is beating up on Dr. Keith about the pension issue. You know, Dr. Keith was the only politician in this country that had the appetite to address the pension situation.
It's an interesting thing because I tell you, sometimes I just listen to some NNP. As one day they're afraid to talk about the grandmaster.
You have a caller. Let's take the caller.
Hello.
Morning, caller. Hello, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning. How you doing?
Hey, Carl. Good morning, and Mr. Pierre. Good morning.
Nashville. How you doing, man?
This is Nashville here. Yeah, this is Nashville here.
Yes.
Hey, this morning I just wanted to tell you guys that there is a big pandemic going on in Grenada right now. And the only people that are addressing it is Mr. Pierre and yourself, Carl. And are you hearing me?
Yes, go on.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so there's a pandemic going on in Grenada right now. And it's only two people that are addressing it. Is you and Mr. Pierre. And that pandemic is called political blindness. Okay? The Grenadian people are politically blind. And we are not addressing the situation what's happening. And the more the NDC are feeding the public with nonsense, and they choose to just close their eyes. For example, I listened to a radio station yesterday in Carriacou just to hear what's going on the opposite sides and listen to what the takes are. And you know, there is some kind of computer missing in the courthouse that a guy who committed murder got away. And they're blaming Keith Mitchell. They're blaming that party for a missing computer that was not even in the possession of the government, was in the possession of the courts. So that is the thing that I'm saying, and everybody's sitting there and listen to people talk and say, oh yeah, the NNP did this, NNP did that. But nobody is stopping and say, wait a minute, guys, that's not correct. That was in the courthouse, and that has nothing to do with the NNP government. So we have a bunch of people that are listening to our radio station and they are saying a lot of stuff, but nobody is there to make any correction. It's like the parents listening to the child make mistakes after mistakes and not even correcting that child to let them know when they're wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what we have going on in Grenada right now, political blindness. My friends?
Yes, Scholar, thank you.
I'll hang up and listen to your guys' comments.
Yeah, we got to take a break now?
Yeah, we
have to take a break now, so we'll back on it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update produced by Triple N. Details when we get back.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere. The Grenlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
Welcome back. Locally, the government has established a committee within the Ministry of Agriculture to provide technical support to the work of the ministry due to vaccines in several technical positions. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Fisheries, Avinash Singh, says a new agreement between two state agencies will improve the country's future food needs. We get more in this report.
New memorandum of understanding between the Agricultural Development Bank and the National Entrepreneurship Development Company Limited will have far-reaching effects. This is according to Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Avinash Singh.
This sustainability includes increased employment, reduced demand for imported food, leading to less stress or strain on the demand on our foreign exchange, while increasing economic activity, not only in the agricultural sector, but other related sectors such as manufacturing, hospitality, and tourism, just to name a few.
Meanwhile, Minister of Youth Development and National Service, Foster Cummings, noted by the year 2050, 60% more food will be needed to feed the world's population.
We also recently launched the Youth Agricultural Shade House Project with the aim to equip nationals between the age of 16 to 35 with the skills and resources to develop agricultural cooperatives focused on the production of high-value short-term crops. And this program is done in conjunction with the University of the West Indies Food and Agriculture faculty.
Minister Cummings added the National Agricultural Research and Extension Institute of the Cooperative of the Republic of Guyana is also partnering in the venture. Both ministers made their remarks while addressing the MOU signing ceremony in Port of Spain on Wednesday.
Around the globe, Donald Trump, his family business, and 3 of his adult children were sued by New York State's Attorney General, who accused them of overvaluing the former U.S. president's asset and net worth through a decade of lies to the bank and insurers. Here are the details.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump and his adult children were sued on Wednesday for what New York State's Attorney General called numerous acts of fraud, accusing the family of misstating the values of real estate properties to obtain favorable loans and tax benefits. The move by Letitia James marks one of the biggest legal blows yet for the former president.
The pattern of fraud and deception that was used by Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization for their own financial benefit is astounding.
The former president's sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, as well as his daughter Ivanka Trump, are also named as defendants in the suit, as well as the Trump Organization, a family company that manages hotels, golf courses, and other real estate around the world. At issue is how the company prepared Trump's annual statements of financial condition over the decade ending in 2021. James says Trump inflated his net worth by billions.
Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal.
During the contentious 3-year investigation, James said her office uncovered more than 200 examples of misleading asset valuations on nearly 24 assets. In one case, she said the former president tried to make it look like his apartment in Trump Tower was nearly triple its actual square footage.
Tripling the size of the apartment for purposes of the valuation was intentional and deliberate fraud, not an honest mistake.
James also said Trump valued his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida as high as $739 million by pretending it could be developed for residential use when he knew there were restrictions. James said Mar-a-Lago should have been valued closer to $75 million.
No one is above the law.
James wants Trump and his children permanently barred from running any companies in New York, and Trump and his organization banned from doing real estate deals for 5 years. In a social media post, the former Republican president called the lawsuit another witch hunt and launched a personal attack on James, who is a Democrat. Trump is considering running for president again in 2024. He's at the center of a number of probes, including a court-approved search of his Mar-a-Lago estate over handling of records and a Georgia investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. He's also denied wrongdoing. This lawsuit was civil, meaning it did not involve criminal charges. Still, James says she'll refer allegations of criminal wrongdoing to federal prosecutors and the Internal Revenue Service.
And in sports, fans who take part in antisocial or criminal behavior at Premier League grounds will now face a minimum of 1-year club ban. Premier League clubs agreed to launch automatic ban alongside the English Football League in July in a bid to address fan behavior issues. This ban will take effect immediately and apply to both home and away games. This ends the latest update of news. Thank you for listening.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone Disinfectant Cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most. Your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
The one station in Grenada that picks you up and makes you feel good.
Wow! I feel good.
This is Real FM.
And we're back. Legally.
Yes, we're back.
Yes, we're back, and let us respond to the brother because he is making an important point. I have always, Carriacou has been extremely important to me as a parish because it's one of the parish in Grenada that I work in for a number of occasions. I work in all parishes in Grenada, but Carriacou has always been important. And I listen to all the radio stations in Carriacou, not all the time, but I listen to program. And sometimes I shock when I hear what comes from the mouths of people. Have a caller on the line? Yes, caller.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Well, any one of you could answer this question.
How high gas prices have ever been in Grenada? What is the highest gas price has ever been in Grenada?
I think about $18.
Okay.
I think I can't remember, but I think about $18.
How low it have ever been?
No, but if you ask how low, I'm tongue longer. I remember that when gas was $1.00.
Okay.
In 1974 crisis, gas reached to $5, and people ball. Well, sugar was $5 too then. So.
Okay. So what I'm saying here, gas prices most of the time went up to about, in my knowing, to about maybe about $16, $17 in the last 20 years or so.
I think that's the highest average. About 18 is the highest, I believe, gas average.
Okay.
Or
So-
17.95 or something. Yeah.
And it does drop too.
Yeah.
So then my question is, why cap it?
Because I think it was capped because they realized it might go to 20 something. So the government put a cap on it at 15 so that the government would stand the losses. So if anything above 15, the government decided they would stand the loss to absorb some of the impact on people.
So do the government gain on it from them?
No, the government lose, man. The government lose money.
When it drop?
Well, if it drop under 15, the government gain.
What really happens sometimes, the government tax is around 550, yeah? So when they cap and so on, they forego that 550. So in the context in our caller, simply to put.
I will listen on the radio because I don't have much credit. So.
Okay. Simply put now, Mr. Pay, if the government put the 550 tax, the true price of gas will be about 17.74. So capping and government not collecting, because to the point the permanent secretary alluded to the fact that government has lost over 30 something million by not collecting government taxes based on the capping and so on. So it's a loss of revenue for central government.
But that is to maintain cost of living.
That is to address cost of living.
Affect everything in the country. Transportation, food, groceries, goods, etc., etc. So government, all throughout the Caribbean, they have been taking action because of the economic environment to maintain the cost of living. So that's one of the reasons why. Yes, I was speaking on radio stations. A radio station in Rwanda was accused, it was alleged that they helped to facilitate the conflict in Rwanda. A conflict that resulted in over 80,000 people died. So radio stations and radio personalities in any democracy is important. And while you have freedom of the press, and I am a strong supporter of freedom of expression, freedom of the press and democracy, you must have people balancing things and asking questions. When I hear the law that like weed on a radio station in Carriacou advocating to partition Carriacou, and he said he don't care if they align with New Zealand and Australia, my blood run cold. I couldn't believe that a lone man as a lawyer on that radio station was if you hear laugh and kings, and they practically were advocating. So that radio station has been weaponized, for want of a better word. They have been weaponized. And they have used all the clout, everything. Sometimes I wonder if there was fracturing the relationship between Carriacou and Grenada. Sometimes I wonder if they didn't like Grenadians. Some of the utterances I heard from them, sometimes I was wondering if they didn't like the Grenadians. A lot of Grenadians admire Tevin Andrew. A lot of Grenadians like him and admire him.
You work hard.
But I was wondering if Tevin win his seat, how Tevin going to function if he is a minister of health, a minister of education? Would he be able to appreciate that Grenadians are human beings, because I know he used to be on that radio station regular. And that radio station, to me, seems as if they genuinely dislike Grenadians. And I thought it was extremely unfortunate. We are a small country. I don't know if Carriacou is 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 people. Small group of people, you know? And they know, that lawyer knew it is difficult for a community like that to stand on its own. So he said he don't care if they align with Australia or New Zealand. Like he don't meddle with them in the Caribbean. Like that lawyer don't meddle with CARICOM countries and the Caribbean and all, you know. And it was sad and unfortunate because I didn't hear anybody asking question and neutralizing it. Our journalists, even the recognized individuals in Carriacou that normally write reports and etc., I heard no one challenging them. I didn't say they didn't. I said I did not hear. Maybe the time of the day that I listened to the radio. But I listen to individuals like that because if you have so much pus, so much fire, so much bitterness and hate coming from your mouth, it's important to listen to you. Otherwise, it might draw matches. And I think that is some of the challenges we have. We tear down people mercilessly, and nobody defend them. I like Ralph Gonzalez, you know, the warrior.
Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah. Nobody seems to defend Ralph Gonzalez.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. Dr. Kit Mitchell in Grenada. Nobody seems want to defend him. And I say some days we must speak about Kit Mitchell, because I believe he has been one of the greatest success stories in Grenada. And Doc, anytime I say that, you must remember Eric Matthew Gary, because he was the maestro, the man who set the template. But Dr. Kit Mitchell is the most successful Grenadian politician and one of the most tolerant individuals for criticism in Grenada.
Yeah, boy.
And one of the strongest believer in the democratic process. And sometimes even NNP, I don't hear NNP supporters really propagating his strong points and defending him.
Well, Mr. Pell, let me look at that. Maybe his strong point has proven to be an Achilles heel for him, because even NNP recognize he is quite capable of defending himself. So a lot of them choose not to come to his defense in the last election cycle. So much was said, or so much was ado about Dr. Kit Mitchell, and you hardly hear the NNP faithful or the NNP warriors out there defending Dr. Mitchell.
Well, sometimes that's what happened. Nobody protected the Achilles heel.
Yeah.
But it's a common thing in politics. In politics in the Caribbean, and that's why I tend to have a very soft heart for politicians. They work very hard.
A very ungrateful profession.
Yes. You know, at one time, Manley's wife got so much against Manley. And she liked him, you know, but she against him. She followed Dike Duncan. And she even had an affair with Duncan, you know. And when Manley realized she had an affair with Duncan, he tell her, don't go back in the house. Where did let's go again? Change your house. Go somewhere else. You know. And he leave her alone. And when she recognized why she can't stand that, how she husband could let her just hand it. She go to him for divorce. He tell her, no, don't divorce him. She could continue with her life, but don't divorce him. And she went on with Dike till Dike wife dead and she married Dike. Yeah. So I sometimes the politicians, people tend, they get so much criticism that people tend not to associate with them. But it's something to do with success to you.
Yes, success.
When you success could be a very lonely journey.
Because remember, like we grew up around a particular time and you say you in Tongue Long. And remember the grandparents used to say they don't pelt on empty trees.
No.
They just don't know empty mango trees. So anytime you hear that, it's something.
If you look at the communities, when you're in the communities, the most successful people in the community, we used to say they're dealing, you know.
Yeah.
They're wicked.
Yeah, and people, I don't like that person.
I don't like them. They don't help nobody. The whole village owe them, you know. But sometimes even their children, don't be no apologies for them. The children don't want to defend them.
No.
Because daddy has so much bad name. They say dealing, he evil, he wicked, he bad. So the children don't support the parents publicly.
But one thing, Mr. Pierre, those people, when, like, if they have estate or land and thing, when people go to work with them, they give them the full day's work. Yeah. But ordinary person like me and you, they don't worry us, man. They just turn their back on us. Yeah. So all in one breath, they'll say these people, like, bad dealing and so on, but they have a lot of respect for that same set of people. Eh?
Yeah. But these were the people that they went to if their child was
sick. If they're in a problem, that's the people they go to.
You know.
But there was a particular situation when I was in the RGPF. There were some police officers who was very friendly with boss men. You always see them together, they drinking and all kind of thing. But when the boss men have a problem, they don't go into them. They don't go into their friends when they have a problem. They leave in their friends and go to our next person because they tell them, say, that man don't serious, but he won't help me.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, we also touch on the same thing brief, computer and transcript. And what happened to the gentleman? He walked because the transcript would not be found. And there's a particular lawyer who seems to have a lot of information as to the whole workings and happening. But there are some questions what ought to be answered, Mr. Pierre, like who prepared the transcript? Who is the one responsible to prepare? From what document or hard copy does the transcript come from? What is the source of that document? Who puts in the information into the computer? Who has the authority to like go to the computer? It can be anybody. And those are the questions that need to be answered. But you find even on that particular radio station you mentioned, they're blaming the past administration for. Like if one of the ministers had the computer by the home.
The prime minister.
Yeah, like he had
anything that happened in the days of Gary say one guy used to say, after God is Gary. Gary said from the time me and him followed, he said after Gary is the devil. And they used to say if a dog shit on Market Hill, it's Uncle Gary that caused it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that goes on. So because people listen to the radio station regularly, they wanted the most popular radio station, they could continue to repeat these things and people would believe it. But going back to the transcript, the man get away I got. First of all, the penalty that was given to this guy was too much. Right, give a man 67 years in prison for. It's like you're giving him lifetime.
Well, it is life.
Yeah, 67 years.
Get life.
You want a man dead in prison?
Well, yeah, that's what life is.
Yeah, you could have given the man 30 years. He was 67 already. This judge 1,000 years. The penalty too stiff. And what? In the same way, the guy get away on technicalities. That is where lawyers good on technicalities. Mm-hmm. A lot of people get jail on technicalities too.
Or they get away on technicalities.
You see a guy going court.
It's good both ways.
They watch your demeanor. You don't have no defense. You don't dress good.
He guilty.
He rude. Everybody want to get rid of him. They say that guilty. Send that in jail.
A man come properly attired.
Properly attired. People crying for him. His wife says she very big and he's a good father. He was not a good father, but all of a sudden, wife crying for him. They have sympathy. So you're going to always find people able to get away on technicalities. And I don't know much about the IT and internet, but I thought you could save things in the cloud. So when you don't see your computer, you go back in the cloud for it. So, but the guy get away on technicalities, and yes, he spent about 8 years in prison. The crime wasn't premeditated. It seems as though it was a spontaneous crime, and he panicked and he hid the body. And then the fact that he had to come back here is because the government guaranteed the British government that they will not hang him in.
Yeah.
So he come back and you give him 67 years in prison. It's a lot of years. Maybe divine intervention say that's too much. So the computer disappear.
But what is deafening, Mr. Pierre, is the commissioner of police and the police is so silent on the issue.
But the police have nothing to do with that.
Not about investigating us to find out what's going on.
Well, did they report computer missing?
Stick up in, we have a call.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello?
Hello, is this an offline number?
No, 4420975.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
You see, maybe that computer was missing about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The impression I got that this thing was missing about 3 years ago. So if the computer missing with the information in it.
They sound like his last week he go missing.
No, the computer missing long one. The thing going code, they can't get the computer, they can't get the transcript, they can't get the information.
So how he gets
the
sentenced?
court must get he got sentenced.
Before.
And now he appealed the case.
Oh, okay.
You see, the judge opened the room for appeal. Because a good lawyer going to appeal. They say you give him man 67 years. You promise the court you won't hang him, but like you hang him, you give him 67 years, you want him die in jail. So they would appeal on that case.
When you look at what he do, Mr. Pierre.
What
67, okay.
But he wasn't a premeditated murder. He and his wife got out of hand and they got out of hand and she died.
She died?
Well,
She
he
died?
killed her. He killed her.
In front of the child?
Yeah, that's why I said, well, you want them
30 for the child and 35?
You want them go outside to argue? When we argue, we want us leave the poor child in the room and go outside and argue.
And they say he bury her too?
Next thing, the child die in the toilet. No, you have to argue in front of your children. So they argue. But whatever the case is, the guy get away on a point of technicality. And all over the world that taking place. And they say, well, they didn't get the transcript. But people might think it's last week it happened. Maybe about 3 years ago, did they report to the police the computer missing?
No, but the lawyer in his discussion say he was under the impression that the transcript was being prepared.
When he say you're under the impression, that don't mean nothing. You know?
But he's a guy who seems to have a lot of information.
Well, he say you're under the impression. But what that mean? Is it facts? Does he know that the transcript was prepared? Call on the line. Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes, brother. Good morning.
On the question of Parliament next week Thursday, you're opening Parliament the very first time. Opening Parliament just for money, just to go and pass a bill to get some money. You need $88 million to pay pension. That is how the government decided to do it.
How much million dollars they need to pay
allowance already.
How much money they need to pay pension?
They're looking. Yes, I heard it. $88 million they want to pay pension.
Not 60 again.
But pension is an ongoing thing. Pension is not a one-off. They're not understanding that. We have a problem already, Today is 3 months since the election. Parliament opened last month, and now on the 29th, we're going to have the fourth meeting. And you don't hear nothing about opposition. Then I heard the ministers, I don't know, they ain't ready for Parliament yet. None of them have expressed, because I heard the minister of implementation, how it seems. He wasn't the one to run against to Mr. Caton. And I heard told all of them are kindergarten children. I put them in kindergarten. They cannot speak to me. They cannot. I refuse to listen to them and the garbage. You said give them time.
Loose cannons, man.
The young, they say it's a dog show. They say Parliament is a dog show in 2013. So they waste their time. I don't want to hear them. They cannot teach me nothing. They have to learn manners, learn
They have to learn to play the game first.
and then we could be on the same. Have a good.
All right. Yes, Color. But Color is a money bill. So you must go in Parliament.
You must get Parliament.
You must get parliamentary approval for that money bill. And it's an expenditure that was not really budgeted for. So you must go in Parliament to get that money bill. And the government give the undertaking that this money will be paid, I think, either starting in November or finish paid in November, whatever the case may be. So it is absolutely necessary for them to go there. And we have to have confidence in them, you know, and it's good to listen to them. You're good to listen to what they're saying. Even if you don't support them, but you must know what they say. Because we must not be speaking untruth or things that is not factual
about them.
We must avoid sexing up the truth.
Sexing it up.
Yeah, and we must not expand what is wrong. We have to try to do it because this is a democratic country and we have to try to get it right.
But at the same time, Mr. Pierre, this going to Parliament out money bills, if you listen Real FM for a while, we indicated or we predicted that this present administration will be going to Parliament for those bills and not necessarily other business, because they indicate to us they will deal with the public on a need-to-know basis.
Yeah, well, this is one of the challenge that the journalists, radio personalities have to address. Nothing is wrong if the politician decide to give you zero information. But that is why you have freedom of expression. We're not in Iran or Russia. So you cannot tell me about need to know. Then what we do, we ask the questions what we want to know, and we bombard you with them. This is not the revolution. Even in the revolution, 3,000 people resisted and was in jail. And a lot flee the country. So this is a period of time when the government could claim need to know. But the journalists have to, as they interact with them, they have to ask them what they think the public want to know. And you have social media, and they have to answer. They either don't answer or they would look a little bit silly. They will look corner. They will look immature. And you cannot remain a juvenile for long in politics. Otherwise, your significance and your role would be diluted. So they have to rise to the occasion. The previous government set a remarkable template where after every cabinet meeting, they had a press conference. That was remarkable. I don't think that happened anywhere else in the Caribbean. I've been trying to follow the Caribbean politics, and I don't think that happened anywhere else in the Caribbean. In addition to that, the Prime Minister started meeting journalists quarterly. I remember I even tell Kalisha, don't worry, you'll get your talk.
Or don't go there.
Yeah, I don't go there. But the last time he tell I don't worry, you'll get your talk. And again, he was taking questions on social media. And they had a regular meeting in the constituencies. So that is a remarkable standard set for Grenada. With the level of radio station we have, and I would not surprise if we have more radio station than anybody else in the Caribbean, based upon our population. The number of radio station you have with the population. Trinidad might have more radio station than us, but they have more people than us. So this is a high standard. And no Grenadian journalist. We have a call on the line. Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm just calling to follow up on media advisory and goal details I sent to Twinkle Francois this morning regarding an HWPL peak event.
Say that again. You got to speak a little louder. We can't hear.
Oh, okay. My name's Gabrielle. I'm calling from HWPL. We sent Zoom details for our event today at 11 a.m. Was Twinkle Francois is she able to receive it?
Okay, all right.
You're live on radio.
Okay, call this number 442-0975. They will they'll advise you better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. So we have to understand that, and the government have to start to adjust themselves to the reality that they no longer a political party, they are government. And as a result of that, we will ask questions. And to avoid speculation, the government have a lot of information to give us. The government made public the name of ambassadors and high commissioners, and other people representing individuals in the foreign mission. So now you must give us the names of the people. You have to give us. You have to give us the names of the people on the board. You that start this thing. The NNP never make public to us the names of all the people in the foreign mission. You did. So now you there. You have to give us. The foreign minister said he was against.
We have a caller, sir.
Yes, caller. Welcome.
Hello. This is Gabrielle again. Just calling to what number did you just give me to reach Twinkle Francois?
442-0975.
0975. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
And I think at one stage, I'm not certain if I heard that the present Prime Minister intended to legislate information, suggested that he will do that. So you have to make information. We're not going back. Grenada not going back. I always speak about some of the woes of the revolution because I don't want you to go back. We're not going back there. We're not going back when we're jailing people for information.
Not going back there.
We're not going back there. I am advocating that you rescind the letters and you discontinue, you cease and desist from the practice of political victimization. We're not going back there. That is not good for us. We're going forward. Because I believe Grenada have the answer to change the whole of Africa. Remember that Malcolm X was also involved in perhaps the first OAU African states. All of them encouraged with the Prime Minister Ethiopia then. So Grenada always take the lead. So we're not going back. Grenada is a country that leads.
Not going back.
Yeah, Maurice Bishop was a powerful orator. And some of his utterances pleases the international community.
He was pleasing on the palette of the air. But
of course.
I want to make a point about the transcript before we move from that. What is interesting here is the lawyer made it clear that he was going to appeal the judge's summing up. His whole appeal was based on the judge's summing up, which just happened to be the missing part of the transcript. You don't find that coincidental?
Well, if the transcript missing,
his summing up, Mr. Pierre, happens to be just the missing part of the transcript.
But he didn't say that alone that was missing.
No. I'm just telling you,
Okay.
His summing up
was the missing part.
The gist of his summing up happens to be the part where the transcript was relevant.
But that's important for the case. There's a point of technicality. That part must be missing in the cloud.
So the cloud and clouding.
I thought they. I
know you want to see it longer.
I thought they used to save in AC like that. They claim that they save things in the cloud.
In the cloud.
And
and here again.
This was off a server.
Hold on, the transcript was prepared. It was being prepared. And just as it comes to the use, he missing.
But I think one happy individual we have is the guy that out of prison.
Yeah, the guy happy, but
this man is happy.
But the circumstances surrounding that thing is too coincidental.
And he won on a point of technicality.
It's too coincidental.
And there is no going back.
There's no going back. But what it is, the lawyer made it clear the point of which he was appeal was relevant to the transcript, and then the transcript, boom, just for the transcript.
You think the lawyer sorry?
You know, sorry, but the people have to know it's not all the lawyer, because a lot of people don't understand and they blaming the past administration.
Well, the past administration not blaming that the court is separate from.
No, but if you listen, Mr. Perry, we know, you know, I know, but just the general populace understand and know. And as you say, when you're discussing anything, a 6-year-old child supposed to understand. And a 6-year-old child would understand the very issue that lawyer intended to appeal is the very issue at missing. He didn't go to appeal sentencing it.
But the journalist
you made a point about sentencing, but he didn't appeal
the summing up.
The judges. It's just the transcript, the summing up. And boom. Just so. You know, there was a notion in Trinidad one time, you have certain lawyers, when they have a case in Trinidad or when they're representing people, two things just so happen. Either the witness lose or the transcript lose.
One of them.
Something had to go missing.
Yeah, you had a time in Trinidad, they tell you, you have certain lawyers, they call them and say, go to this man and them.
Something go lose.
Yeah, because even Dolce and them alleged that they told them how to deal with Clint Huggins. Remember that case?
Yeah.
So I hope that thing will start to visit the place here.
Well,
to put justice in a bind.
Well, the DPP have it.
I don't know.
They might have to call it DPP.
I don't know, but this thing is so happened just the point that the lawyer intended to appeal. Boom, that point was miss.
The DPP challenge the lawyer if he have testicular fortitude. Take him on. So they might have to call it DPP.
I find. And then he say again, same thing. He had the impression that it was prepared, and based on all information, the transcript was being prepared, and then the computer lose. This thing is not coincidental, Mr. Ben. We have reviewed, but we have to understand the whole workings of this thing. Something just do right.
One man I know.
Something just do right.
One man I know very happy.
Is the man a ghetto?
The man a ghetto.
Yeah.
Very funny lawyer say I go appeal on.
Very point.
He don't appeal. Mr. Pierre still talk out 67 years old. He had nothing to do with 67 years. Just the part with the transcript.
It's all.
What his main grounds of appeal was on happened to be missing. And he, even by his own utterance, he was under the impression that it was being prepared. Did he know he could not come to fruition? That's the questions that we have to ask. And not going and call radio and talk about Dr. Mitchell and any other members of the PAT administration should know and all them kind of things and them. And I bring up the point about the Commissioner of Police, Mr. P. Because we had some discussion in the public domain last week about some tower in Peter. And without anybody indicating that they make a report to the RGPF, the Commissioner of Police was on the media saying an investigation is started. So how this one will be treated? You see, you have to be consistent. If you are the RGPF, you have to be consistent for people to have belief in you. You can, based on one thing, he didn't say about no report made to him, but he have investigation into the tower. No, that everybody beating up, people crying, some happy, some lie down in sackcloth and ashes, and not a word on it. Why? Taking side now, the police gone into side taking them.
They also say that the police they had scandal with the gases concern.
You don't hear nothing on that. Yeah. There were two investigations with one Mr. Vanny Cohen in terms of the voice note and some alleged incident with a firearm in Victoria. You don't hear nothing about that. But the one with the tower, the commissioner, all the same investigation going.
You don't know about the tower? The commissioner don't know about the tower?
No, he say it was not under your watch.
But if he was not under your watch, he not.
But you know investigation going.
So all you have to find out whose watch he was under.
Somebody say weak charges.
Yeah. Interesting.
And there was a particular time when you mentioned that person named earlier on, Miss Kalistra. And the particular narrative, because narrative is storytelling, and we all had an appreciation for the intent of the narrative in the past administration. Lo and behold, Miss Kalistra started crying out and say the press secretary brushing them off, the media.
But nothing is wrong. I always say to them,
I don't say it is wrong, but it is twisted here.
You see, when people go and look for a job, they determine what sacrifice they're going to make.
Yeah.
Journalists is a different breed of people. A journalist is a different breed of people. If you is a political journalist, it's something else. But if you decide to walk the road of a journalist, people can brush you aside. You go up, you say, "Ma'am, please don't do that because you can't take me out."
Yeah, you're peeping and
yeah, man. When somebody tell you don't go, they say, "I'm going there." Yeah, where you going? Right there, going. So if she's being brushed aside, I expect her to counteract that.
Investigative journalism is one where you take risk in.
Yeah, it's fairness and now it's not like we're not in Iran to say we're going to the morality guards in England. In Iran, they are the morality guards. You know, like the women, the way they had hijab.
Yeah, I did.
They put them in jail. They just had this incident with this 22-year-old. So the journalists in Grenada not under this pressure, so they could be much more objective. Yeah. So if she wanted information, she could get it. Because they interact with the politicians. At sometimes it's difficult to draw a line of demarcation between them and the political warriors. So now they in a better position now to get information from the anointed one, the deacon. So it's not hard. So Kalistra just have to dig deep. Yeah, and go there.
Yeah,
and go there.
No. My point is simply this, Mr. Pierre. When was the New National Party in power? Miss Kalistra never had a particular narrative. Now that this new administration is there, what she is indicating that there is a plan afoot to muzzle free speech in terms of journalism.
Well, that's the point I'm saying. She cannot be muzzled because at one stage it was difficult to discern the line of demarcation.
And then
so she must be able to have more information.
And then you're seeing ministers taking a set of photo ops, but they're not facing the journalists to answer relevant questions as to what's going on. And in a democracy, because we live in a democracy, we subscribe to democracy, force post-party system democracy. You can, on one hand, subscribing to these things and in practice doing something different. Now, I agree with what you're saying, and they need to be called out or spoken of, because too often we allow things to go a begging without trying. In no way we allow it. We allow information given by these people to go uncontested. For instance, case in point, there were 2 ministers on this Carriacou radio station as we allowed, saying people will go in jail, but nobody was asking them how they come by this information or what is the information to satisfy that things. So we just leave it up in the air. And anyone vent here, maybe you or others, Mr. Pierre, to ask or to speak of, the army ready to cut you through.
When you get involved in this thing, you mustn't bother about army and
no, I don't bother, and I just saying as it is.
They know they don't exist.
Well, they know by now. I ain't bowing, I ain't bearing to nobody. They know that by now.
At this stage, you don't exist.
So you don't think, but for the benefit of the people, because at the end of the day, we live in a democracy and it's of, for, and by the people. Eh? That is what it is. And we as a people have to understand what here is at play. And there are times we have to try to explain, and there are times we have to defend, and there are times we have to give blame where it is. Now, we may have our opinion on issues. We're entitled to our own opinion on issues, but we're not entitled to our own facts. And there are certain things that are going on. One, the whole thing about the transcript and so on, we might have the opinion, but it is improper and unfair and downright vulgar for persons to call in and promulgating the fact that the blame should be laid at the doorstep of Dr. Mitchell, when there are a lot of pertinent questions which need to be answered by the powers that be or whoever is accountable. And we cannot just brush it off like that it is. We are to probe and to keep probing and to keep persons honest, because if we do allow that, and in my view, a lot of that happened during the last term of the NNP when they allow people to say, do, and all kind of things without contesting it. I have an issue again with the whole issue about the faith base. And I think some people that need to come and speak, because a lot of things is being said. But how do one defend what he said without having the information? So information is key. We have a call?
Yeah.
Let's take that call.
Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning, you guys. Good morning, Mr. Pierre. Morning, Master Carl.
Wago.
How you guys doing, man?
What we did? Great.
Right. Powerfully punching. Right. Quickly, 3 issues. Now, I don't want to talk much about this laptop issue, because to me, that is a dark smoke, and whenever investigations are done, we go find out what really going on, because that don't make no sense to me and probably the whole agreement. The NMP and the EGF, it makes no sense. Secondly, the gas price issue. Gas price gone on fair enough. We're taking the compliment good enough. Third, we're talking about these ministers that was in Carriacou and a radio station proclaiming who will get arrested and who will get jailed and all kind of nonsense. And the thing about it, like I keep saying, and Mr. Pierre was saying, what you say, juvenile arrogance? You see, when people never have been in a position to lead a country or to be in a position at that level, they become what I call power blind. So they don't know how to use it. So hence, they're listening to a certain, according to Mr. Pierre, Prince of Hate. And to me, the Prince of Hate is the AG, the Prime Minister, the PRO, the Minister of Health. He is talking on every minister and every ministry on this country behalf. And I keep saying to the PRO, to the NDC party, you all keep saying you all are associated with this guy. But what is happening, when you let a wound or a flesh wound stay in an element, it festers and it becomes very infectious. And it's been happening, I've been saying that over and over. Let us deal with this thing now. Because when it leaves the bag, it cannot be healed again. And it's still happening. So right now, they blame NMP for some computer missing. Blame NMP for not bringing on the gas. Blame NMP for taking gas in the central position and so guys, I'm glad you're picking these issues out, and let me deal with it, and let me deal with it very harshly, because trust me, these men won't stop until they probably bury NMP, and I ain't there for that. Have a good day.
Bless.
When you
time check, 5 minutes to 10 o'clock. Go on, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, you see, I think the National Democratic Congress, perhaps they're doing themselves a disservice. I say that because you offer newness, you promise to provide information, you start by providing information that nobody requested on the previous party. For instance, all the individuals who represented them in the foreign mission. And we expected to have Grenadians or at least Caribbean people. You didn't say that, but at least Caribbean people, CARICOM people to represent us in the foreign mission. Now you seem to be backtracking from that. Now, if you don't answer the questions now, as you go down the road and you meet new challenges, it's going to pile up and it's going to show a pattern. And even some of the journalists that appeared or seem to have been in your political party or agents of you, remember, they are individuals with character, and they cannot afford people to see them, to dismiss them. So they themselves going to be asking your questions. So I think the members of the National Democratic Congress must, the first thing they have to change and remember, you are the government. You don't have to answer questions as a political party. You're only responsible to your members as a political party. But as a government, you have to be responsible to the public. And some of the questions will be coming, more of the challenging question is going to be coming from the opposition. And then you have to answer the opposition and the journalists, particularly in light of the fact that you establish you giving information on need to know basis, particularly because it seems that you evoke political victimization and you incorporate it in your policy. That is like opening a can of worms, and a number of questions going to ask. When you in power, there are certain things with the court. I think the court has a level measure of independence, so it'd be difficult to blame you or the other government for action at the court. If an investigation has taken place in the court, maybe the Chief Justice have to do it, or those in charge. I don't know if the police could just go and investigate things in the court if the court don't call the police. So if a computer is missing and they never inform the police will go looking for a computer. The Chief Justice or the judge have to say, based upon the fact that this case, we had to provide the man rights, his justice, as a result of the missing computer. Now we're going to find out where the computer go. Although this gentleman in Donkey Glory was supposed to play in 67 years, he make 8, he said, thank God, and he's going to race far, far, far away from Grenada.
Yeah, I disappear.
And I agree with him.
Melting.
He got victory on a point of technicality.
Yeah.
But it is also instructive to know. And that is why I personally spoke of an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
If it can be proven that anyone connected to the accused had a hand in the missing laptop, that matter could be appealed to the Privy Council.
Mm-hmm.
Since the law does not allow you to benefit from your own wrongdoing. So that is why in that light I call on an investigation. So if it could be proven, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
That computer went missing through anybody had a hand in connection with the accused person, there's a road to it.
We come to the end?
Yeah, we come to the end of today's program because we are having some technical difficulty with the radio part. Mm-hmm. So listeners, we thank you. Mr. P, any parting words from you?
Well, we want to encourage people to listen to Real FM. Real FM is one of the most powerful radio stations in Grenada. And Real FM, you don't have to have no certificate, you don't have to be no special person to communicate with them. They have a master agriculture program that has been there for a very long time. And where the Grenada politics is concerned, they entertain all and sundry. So we want to encourage you to listen to Real FM, and particularly our Friday program, which is a little bit longer than the others. Mm-hmm. And you have an opportunity to call. We don't prevent you from calling. We encourage you to call. And we want to thank you very much.
All right, take care.
Get lost in a sea of musical nostalgia by flooding your ears with the best music on Real FM.